Good evening. Welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Martin. I'm your host. And have we got some post-match reaction for you? Got Ozzy. Good evening, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Martin. Evening, Patrick. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm surviving. I'm okay. I hope you guys are well. I hope everyone is having a
Yeah,
good
and
day.
we've got Pat from True City Fan TV. Go and give him a lot of love. You know that. Channel's down in the description anyway, as everyone is. And Bevo's going to join us soon. Dan Potts may join us in a bit. Depends how long his live is. Ed, Elise, right. I know LB sent you over and just put Elise in the chat because he's a bit of a fake fan like that. He's LB. LB the fake fan. He wears the 99 shirt. Doesn't know any players from 99 though, because he only became a City fan in 2008. City got taken over and LB became a City fan. Just so you all know. Adam, thank you for renewing the membership for 11 months. You
LB's what, 20 something? Like, behave, Martin.
There he is. Look, here he is, Mr. Fake Fan, 2008. 2008. I don't know who Lee Crooks is. You know,
LB, keep going. Keep going.
Oh, don't worry. I've got loads. No, but yeah, we're going to get into it. Obviously, we've drawn 2-2. I'm going to keep some of my stuff on the Arsenal fans for tomorrow when I'm on Lee's channel and Never a Foul and that, because I do have some of the shit that is getting spouted by some Arsenal fans. Seriously.
No, Martin. Don't be ridiculous. Arsenal fans speaking crap.
Yeah. Apparently, Michael Oliver's on our payroll. He was shit for both teams. But let's not put that into your thing. Just suit it because you sat back and didn't do jack shit. You had 2 chances in the first half and you think that was a world-class performance. Jolly good. Anyway, we'll move up. Anyway, Mark Harris, thank you for renewing for a 7-month. You and Adam are both winners, and you've made my internet is dropping like flies tonight. Pep, a very happy boy.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Exactly, Jack Lee. The ref was dog shit. But let's get into it. Lineup was very much changed. Kyle Walker comes back in for Rico Lewis. Doku and Savio both played today. Changed the midfield around. We had Gundogan, Rodri, and Bernardo Silva, and the big man up top. I was a little bit shocked with the lineup. I understand what he was doing. He was going with more creativity down the wings than he was in the middle. Pat, what did you think of the lineup when you first saw it?
Yeah, Martin, you know how for months people have been thinking I have an agenda against Jack, and it's not even an agenda. It's just as I told you, this guy. I thought this is the guy who's gonna take the keys over from Grealish, from KDB. So when my disappointment started going down, when I saw how he got changed by Pep at City, I got so different because I wanted the free spirit Jack. And you know what? Let's be honest. It can happen at City. He can be the guy who's the free spirit. Now, there's a man who I've also gone after recently. But funny thing, as you say, Martin, you might be right on this. Somehow, when I go after Jack, people get emotional. But when I go after this, they get emotional. But some people join me. There's one man who seems when I've been going after him this season. Why I'm talking about the lineup is Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva for a while hasn't done much but running around. Look, back in the days he would run around, but he was effective. These days, there's nothing Bernardo is doing. Even last season, I said it. I was like, guys, if we criticize this season, why I'm saying this is I'd rather going forward sometimes see Jack down the middle floating around than Bernardo Silva. Because people keep saying, oh, but Jack can track back. I've seen Jack track back, and ever since he came to City, he can track back. Am I wrong to say when I saw that lineup, my first one was like, why is Silva here? Why is it not Foden or Jack Grealish in this lineup? Because Silva somehow hasn't been great. And then talking about Walker, I think the only reason why Walker came to this game was the fact that Pep saw it as it is a big game. It's Arsenal. And he was like, do I really throw Rico Lewis into this game? But we say the same thing the other day. I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, it's time for Lewis to be the right back, regardless if it's Vinicius. We have to stop this thing where, oh, because Vinicius is so fast, we have to depend on Walker. Because Walker hasn't been great for a while. And Walker last season had moments where players just went at him and they scored the side that Walker is in. So those were the few things I was questioning. That why is Walker here? Because I could have preferred a back line of Akanji, John Stones, Diaz, and Josco. I think that back line could have been way better. So look, my issues with the lineup was Walker and Bernardo Silva. That's all I had an issue with. And as I said, going forward, I'd rather see Silva not in this team unless maybe it's just, I don't know, am I being bad? I'm telling you, recently, ever since this where Silva is leaving, he hasn't done much that's as warranted for him to play. I think I'd rather see Jack Grealish in the middle than Silva. That's all I had. Those are the issues I had. I don't know how you guys felt about the lineup.
Also,
well, when we talked about mine, I said that I think Savio should start because I think since he's joined, he's been really, really good. I think he's had a better start to the season than the likes of Doku. And I felt, before the game, and as I said before in the preview on Thursday Night Chat, I said that I felt that Savio and Grealish should start, because I wanted that creative, I wanted that attack from Savio. And I also wanted Jack to come on because he's the type of player that, can hold the ball so well, dribble it well, can cause problems for that back line. And Arsenal have got a decent record at the moment with their defence. No one can deny that. They conceded 2 goals today, though. Is it that good? So, yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised with the likes of Silva and Gundo in the middle because I felt that Gundo, as good as he's been, I've still worried him coming back and playing the amount of games that we're probably going to need him to play because I just felt his age for me is it started to catch on him. I thought he was okay today. I think he was great today, and I think the same as you, Patrick. I wasn't particularly impressed with Bernardo. I don't think he had a poor game, but I don't think he did that much either. With Rodri going off, that really hit us. But that wasn't the defining moment, in the game. So, but just back onto the lineup, with Walker coming back in, I can see why Pep did it. And I think I've seen some of the kind of City commentary and I've seen some of the other, YouTubers kind of going, it's all Walker's fault. He was at fault for both goals. I don't agree with that. I think, possibly at fault for the first one. But I think for him coming back in, Pep made that decision because he felt that, Arsenal probably were going to play on the counter. And he had to have that pace of Walker. And I don't think Walker really, apart from the 2 incidents, which I know everyone's going on about, apart from those things, I don't think he put that much of a foot wrong. I think he played quite well, actually. So the lineup wasn't massively happy with, but I was happier than I think if we had played Doku and Grealish or Doku and Silva out on the wings today. So that's my line.
Can you bring? Can you bring that comment back? You see, this is why City fans. This is why when I was going after Jack, you guys used to come back at me saying, "But Jack Grealish can create this. He can do a pre-assist." Do you see this comment you're saying? But Bernardo Bellas in the build-up. I remember when Martin used to use this to defend to me. Some people in the space would attack Martin and say, "Helping in the build-up doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're just going to pass the ball sideways." All I'm saying about Silva is, Silva used to be a player that he used to be effective. There's a way he was effective in games. Like the last game, Pep decided, the Inter game, decided to put him in the wings. Silva did nothing but hold the ball, pass it back to whoever's down the middle. The down the middle guy, pass it back to Silva. Silva pass it back to them. He doesn't want to get into the box. So all I'm saying is he hasn't been effective. That's why I'm saying today we just showed how much Savio, as I always say, that Savio was very creative and obviously started dying down a bit. Doku very disappointing. Even though I was stuck in the woods, I was still having a sneak preview. Doku, I don't understand where the Doku from last season at the end went, because now Doku is looking like, what are you doing now in this team? Because there's no many times in the Prem. The issue with the Prem is people study you. There's many times in the Prem you're going to do the same dribble. They will find a way to stop you. So unfortunately, today without KD, because I believe if KDB was in this team, but I believe moreover if Rodri did not go injured, I think City would have been more brave. I think they were more scared about counters. But also, big up to Pep, Martin. I don't know if you saw this. There was a moment in time Pep called Foden and Kovacic and told them to switch sides or to switch how they're playing. And if you notice, Kovacic went in the box, and I think Pep said, "You go in the box. I think you're very good in the box. You shoot something." So I was like, Pep actually did something in coaching. But as Silva, yes, I understand he did something by allowing us to score the first goals. But if you talk about Bernardo Silva before, how effective he used to be in games. You can even talk on an example of Liverpool games where he would dribble past through this. I don't see that anymore. All I'm seeing in these days is just being part of the team. There's Bernardo Silva. It's just another 11. And when he gets benched, Martin, these days, my heart doesn't even go down. I actually say nothing has changed with Bernardo Silva being benched. It's just we've been. But I don't know if it's just me. It's just I have no agenda. I'm just giving my 2 cents on Silva, saying I think going forward, maybe look at Jack to take that spot down the middle. And I think for the fact that Ozzy just say Gundogan, the age is no longer it, Jack actually tracks back down the middle. And actually he looks like a threat when he's down the middle. Same way you look at Inter, whenever Jack goes down the middle, he looks like a threat. So maybe it's time to give Jack the same freedom you gave him at Villa. Because to be honest with you, today, even though I was fighting with him on the group, and Martin won't believe this, when I said throw Jack on now, throw him now and tell him to go down the middle, and then boom, he scored. And I wrote in the chat, I was like, what a masterclass. So it is what it is. It's just I don't see what Silva is doing these days. I just don't see it. But he's a good player, but I don't see what he's doing. He's not affecting games the same way.
Since Pardo, thank you for renewing for the 12th month, mate. You are a superstar. Thank you so much.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
And then we have AK coming in with the £5 super chat. Thank you so much, mate, for your generosity. Yes, Ozzy, Patrick and Martin. I beg to Pep, please don't let Walker play a single game after that shit performance in the first half. I'm done with him. I'm going to come to the Walker stuff in a bit because I disagree with Ozzy. I think the second goal, yes, you can blame him. First half, totally all on Michael Oliver for me. I think the guy's completely not a tool and doesn't understand the rule of football. And plus, I also put some blame on Pep Guardiola.
To be fair, Martin, I didn't say he was at fault for both goals. I said,
I thought you said more for the first one.
No, for the first
maybe
one, no, mate.
Maybe I've misheard. Sorry, mate. Right. Let's start with the build-up because I know what he was trying. Like we said, he was trying the all-out basketball football, and we were going to try and get a little bit of control in that midfield. I'm going to come to Gundogan in a bit because I don't know how to put it, because I don't think he was bad today. I don't think he was great either. I'm not sure Gundogan's a player who should be starting these games now. I think he's a player who may be coming on with 30 minutes to go. I'm not sure he should be starting the game. I wasn't expecting Gundo to be starting games. I thought he was going to come in. And that's why I was excited for it. But I'll come back to that. I thought Savio, and I'll give everyone a spoiler, was my man of the match. I thought today, I get now why this is my issue with the wingers. When I've had this debate on wingers week in, week out, and I've tried to explain it so many times, our wingers are not wingers that are going to hit the byline as spam crosses. They're not. Look what Savio does for that opening goal. He comes inside. So he's not quite in the middle. He's not quite banging out on the right. He comes in and he drives forward with the ball. And he plays a beautiful ball. Haaland, by the way, apparently Gabriel and Saliba were just going to pocket all afternoon. Well, that went out the window when he smashed his 100th goal right past you all, and you all shut up. and etc. And I thought we were wild at that point. People have asked me about the Rodri thing. I don't know. I've heard Havertz grabbed him round the neck. I don't know how true it is. I need to watch the game back. I always like to watch the game back afterwards, because when you're watching it live, you can't see certain distances. And it was so damn quick from the kickoff. I don't know what happened.
The camera angles
Arsenal
weren't
fans-
great anyway, Martin, to be fair. Like, I've seen a few back, and the camera angles were just, they weren't set up to take a close-up of what exactly happened. So,
yeah.
unless the one hasn't been released yet, the ones that I've seen don't.
Yeah, that's why I always watch the game back the next day, because I need to fully see angles and everything else and different things. Then the Rodri injury happened, which for me personally, I think changed the momentum of us. Our rhythm disappeared when Rodri went off.
Yeah,
totally disappeared. 1 minute. So, and that's what bugged me a little bit. Now, the Rodri, I have had an update since. Apparently, it may not be an ACL. So I know there's rumours of ACLs out there. It was a suspected ACL. Apparently, he walked away fine today. He has walked away fine. He walked away from the ground. Being told it's a similar injury to what he picked up in the Euros at the moment. That may change. Obviously, there needs to be scans. It's very hard to look on the night of, because he won't properly get in till tomorrow for the scan and they look at him. But at the moment, they don't think it's ACL. So I know others have said, I think where that's come from, because he was down for so long and he didn't move. And I think they were trying to, you know, when you don't move the leg and you're like, don't move it in case. And I think that's where the worry comes. So I'm not saying it is an ACL. I'm saying at the moment, it may not be an ACL. It may be a reoccurrence of what he had during the Euros.
Any injury you can walk away from, Martin.
Yeah.
Like,
he didn't leave on crutches.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what I've been told. If it was an ACL, the guy would now be on crutches or in a boot. He would not have walked away. No. So that's potentially a good thing. Now, I will try and get updates through the night. I will try and get an update tomorrow to see where we're at with it. So, but I can't 100% say it is or it isn't. Good evening, Bebo. How are you, mate? Hope you're well.
All right.
After that, I thought our rhythm disappeared. And I will come back to the comments in a minute, I promise you all. Our rhythm stopped at that point. What I was very pissed off about before I come to the first goal is, and I think we were the same old game. Yes, was Doku good today? No, he wasn't good. But the problem is he can't be good if we don't give the guy the damn ball. We were very right-hand side dependent today, which bugged me a little bit. There was 2 or 3 occasions Doku stood there going, give me the ball. And everyone just ignored him. Everyone ignored him. And the trouble is, it's not Doku's game when a team then goes to 10 men and sits back for 45, 50 minutes. Doku's pointless then because he can't run at 4 men. Because that basically Arsenal just blocked up and went to a 9-man wall. So Doku's pointless then because the guy wants to go in at the byline. So anyway, I'll come on to that. We'll go to the first goal. Wonderful finish from Calafiore. But I will say this. Michael Oliver, I don't know what was shown, because like I said, I've not seen it. Called Walker over as captain and went, come here. At that point, he then, once he's finished talking to him, says to Arsenal, go. So yes, Walker's jogging at that point. I understand that. But what you don't see off camera is Pep's chirping in his damn ear. So when he's doing that, that's coming from the sideline. So either Pep's got to shut up and let him get back, or Oliver has got to wait for Kyle to get back to position before he takes the free kick.
Thing is, as well, the free kick was taken 8 meters away from where the foul happened. 8 meters.
That's why Doku. Now, yes,
Oliver didn't even bother to look behind him to make sure.
He didn't even check.
Didn't even check. He just blew the whistle. I was like, yeah, get
Michael
on with
Oliver
it.
lost control.
He didn't even blow the whistle.
30 seconds in.
Yeah,
Michael Oliver today had an absolute nightmare. He was horrendous. You know,
He was.
there was decisions. If you look at that first 15, 20 minutes, right, we dominated that game. Absolutely dominated that game. As soon as Michael Oliver made that one mistake, that then led to more and more and more of his mistakes. If you look at it, second half, obviously we'll talk again in a minute about the second goal, which again, in my opinion, is a foul on Ederson. But
That's
even
where
if
I do place the blame on Walker. But I'll come back to that in a minute when we get to it.
But if you're talking about just the refereeing mistakes, you know, you look at that. I think it was it Urian Timber or somebody went down in the second half, and David Raya went to go and kick it out. The ball never went out of play, and the right back picked up the ball and carried it forward. Oliver still stopped that game, even though the ball wasn't out of play.
No, do you know what made that worse? He told the Arsenal player to get up.
He did, yeah.
And then stop,
playing.
and then carried on the play anyway. And you're like, you've just told him to get up, and then you've stopped it. Now, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stopped it when the ball hadn't even gone out of play. He didn't even check to see if the ball had gone out of play. If you look, right, his body was facing the complete opposite direction of where the ball was. Now, all he would have had to have done is turned around, seen that the ball hadn't gone out of play, and that City was, because they even said on commentary, they said, you know, City have to play. You have to play. The ball hasn't gone out of play. And then as soon as we started carrying it up, as soon as we got to the halfway line, he blew the whistle. Like, what are you doing?
He did that about 5 times in the whole game. At one point, I don't know if you ever noticed. Again, I'm only asking because I don't know what's seen on the TV. You see, this is the way. That's why I always watch it back, because I like to see so many different angles. There's one point. There was. I mean, I will be. Listen, to not be biased. Savio did it. Savio goes down under a challenge, rolls around, sees he doesn't get the free kick. I've never seen the guy jump up as quick and run back. I'm like, he was injured too. I thought they were both at it today. Both sets of players were playing the dark arts of the game a little bit.
But Martin,
Rice did it.
Martin, but you guys, I'm also thinking about this. His head, Mike Oliver's head went a bit mad because you guys booed him. I mean, he's like booing him because whenever he does something, you're like boo. And I saw he went a bit. He got lost for a minute because I think even Robin Diaz was shouting at him. And that's when he started making these silly decisions. But to be honest, you're right. It was poor. Like he was poor, and I think the whole game he never had control. Because if you look at the Walker thing, even Gary Neville or somebody said, "Why do you call a captain? And why didn't you wait for the captain to get set and everything is set? Then you blow the whistle, you tell them to play. Why don't you come down? You called the captain yourself. The captain didn't come to you. You called him and said, speaking to him, let him go, and then let them set up a line, and then you do this cat. Sorry, my cat is going crazy. Okay, so and then you let them play the ball, and then that's a good way. But look at him; he just told Arsenal to go ahead even before Walker got there. So I think everything was just going bad for him. And the more you guys were booing him in the stadium, the more he was just performing.
You know what? You know what he could have done, Pat? Called both captains away into us, told everyone else to F off, and just speak to him and say, sort this out. Because what happened was the players started running the game instead of him. He lost total control from 30 seconds in. You could see it. You could see it. When Rodri went down 30 seconds in, he looked flustered. He didn't know what to do because everyone surrounded him. And we were like, and then you had the Rodri incident, and everyone surrounded him again. Because remember, a minute early, there was that on that corner, he stopped it twice to have a word with everyone.
Yeah.
To say, stop, what you doing? He had no control. Michael
Oliver today changed that game. If it wasn't for, you know, that first goal where the players should have been made to retake that free kick, that wouldn't have been a goal. Or you could argue and say that probably wouldn't have been a goal because, you know, hang on a minute, you've taken it 8 meters away from where the foul actually happened. You need to retake that free kick. Ultimately, that probably wouldn't have ended up as a goal. Then you look at the second one, where Walker was man marking Gabriel. absolutely fine. Walker should have done better. But Edison had absolutely no chance of getting to that ball. He was being impeded by 2 or 3 players. Now, if you say, "Oh yeah, that's fine, that was a goal," if you go back to other games that have happened over the years, even to the point, I think it was
Liverpool. Go back to Liverpool. Remember Liverpool? We scored.
That's what I was going to say. Even if you look, and that was one player. That was one player. That was Akanji on. I think it was Alisson. That was one player. Edison was getting impeded by 2 or 3. Now you're telling me that that's still a goal. There is absolutely no consistency in this league when it comes to referees. The PGMOL needs to have a long, hard look at themselves, because by far we have the shittest referees in world football. There is no consistency with what we do. And we pride ourselves in being the best league in the world. How can we pride ourselves in being the best league in the world when we have the most inconsistent referees you've ever seen?
But I've got to slightly disagree with you.
That's fine. That's the whole point of these debates, isn't
it? yeah. I'm going to slightly disagree, just slightly.
Stop nicking my words.
I think the second goal wasn't. I don't think it was overall. I don't think it was Walker's, fault completely. I think yes, him marking wasn't good, but let's be honest. I think it was a tactical setup of defending against that goal that was conceded from that corner for me, because at first you had Doku on, which tells me immediately you're putting up against a 5 foot against a 6 foot defender who, no offense to Doku, but he's not going to stop. He's not going to stop him, is he, to be fair? I mean, Gabriel has been great at set pieces, this season and last season. City knew the threat that Arsenal possessed from, set plays. And for me, they will look completely shambolic.
How is Edison? I don't know if you can say.
Now we can't because of your what do you call that? Your background is.
One second, I'll sort that out.
The thing is that
I think Edison we were doing some weird shadow movement there.
Edison should have commanded.
How is Edison supposed to save that?
Yeah, there's 3 of them around him, so I don't get it. I don't understand.
Where's our defense though? No, where's our defense though? Where's Diaz not sorting out that box to get those players away from Edison? I'm sorry, I'm not letting Edison off the hook that easy. I'm not letting our defense off that easily, because they knew the threat from set pieces.
No, of course not.
At the end of the day, you have 2 huge defenders in the likes of Diaz and Akanji, who should be commanding that box,
and
they didn't. And Josko, none of them were around to stop that threat. It should have been a lot better prepared for, and it wasn't. So for me, I think that everyone's at fault for that goal, because they knew the threat. Edison should have had a better command of his box, and the defender should have been defending their goalkeeper a lot better. So for me, I think that entire goal from every one of our players was poor today. I'm not blaming one player, Kyle Walker or Doku, because neither one of them should have been on the likes of
welcome Elijah. Sorry, it was welcome Elijah. It's his first time here.
Can I say something though? Just one thing. Okay, so I also have another angle to this game, and probably some people maybe will like it, some won't like it. Can we still sit here sometimes and just say, I get it. Look, Arsenal probably have one of the best defenses, and when they park the bus, looks like them and Inter. Inter are professionals. Inter admire them. Once they lock up, you have to have a miracle like we did in the final to score against Inter. When they lock up, they lock up. But somehow today, right, let me just speak on the game based on the fact we have received, Michael Oliver is horrible, but he gives us a getaway ticket in a red card. And the red card is early. So it's an early red card. It's not even a red card like where it's 20 minutes left. Weren't you guys a bit frustrated by the fact that, yes, I get it, they'll pack the bus, but why did anybody, especially when Foden came on, I thought he was going to do it, why don't you take the ball, let the other defenders sit back, right, to stop the counter, and give the ball to somebody like Foden and say, Foden, you drive down the middle. So one of the players, I don't know if it was Gundogan or one of the players actually said this to Foden, that drive, and I think even Pep called them and said, drive down the middle. Why were players just doing left, right, left, right? Like, I get it, you're trying to disrupt the players, but sometimes in football, you have to try dribble into the box. Let them tackle you in the box. Am I wrong for saying that? Because we had all that time. There was a point in time it was so bad where it was just Silva and somebody giving the ball to each other. Diaz Silva. And I know Jamie Carragher said is speaking waffle, saying, why are they giving it to Diaz? Because Diaz is in that position. And fair play for Diaz for trying to shoot. I saw some people were going after him, saying Diaz is just shooting. Shoot. Why weren't our players at least Foden, who's good to dribble in those small areas? Even Bernardo Silva, who's good at dribbling sometimes. I was like, just try dribble. Yes, you will get blocked, but try again. Because why I'm saying this is, as bad as I go after Jack Grealish, right? And I still go at him because sometimes he gives up on some of these dribbles and pass back. Today, if you notice, Jack dribbled twice and got stopped. You saw that he tried to dribble, go in the box, he got stopped. Then he tried again, he succeeded, and then they blocked it to a corner. Then he tried again for the fourth time, and then he succeeded with the goal that we got when he finally got the ball in. So I'm saying, if you notice the game, nobody was doing that. They were just passing left, right. And I think teams like Inter or Arsenal, who've got better disciplined players, they won't move. Because this also reminded me of Madrid. Remember, it took Doku to come in and drive in the box about 3 times and made Madrid make a mistake. So I don't know, is it just me who says sometimes Man City, especially when KDB is not there or when Foden is not on fire, because Foden was on fire for us last season, he could shoot it from outside the box, he could dribble in. If any of these players don't have the guts to do that, they just pass it sideways. I don't know if it's just me also that sometimes we waste our time and teams like Inter or Madrid and Arsenal just enjoy sitting in there. Or am I just talking waffle here? Because I am thinking as soon as Jack decided to do it 3 times, he succeeded. I don't know.
Patrick, I kind of agree, to be honest, because that's what I was crying out for, because I think Jack should have been brought on a lot earlier. I felt he could have been making those dribbles into the box, challenging those defenders. And we know Jack gets assaulted left, right, and centre. He's fouled that much that he could have caused a penalty. Do you know what I mean? I just felt keep zipping it around the edge of the box was just it wasn't going to get anywhere. It was just absolutely just one end to the other, and then the pop shots from Diaz. I couldn't understand what was going on. And the thing is it's not like, I mean, even the commentators were turning around and saying, why is he not bringing Foden on? I mean, Foden, yeah, okay, he didn't make a massive difference today. Didn't have a lot of time though. Plus, he's coming on cold. So I think there's a lot of blame to go around, to be honest, with some of the play and the approach. I don't think it was brilliant from Pep today. I think he has to take some responsibility. And the players have to, because, as you said, mine, when Rodri went off and we conceded that got equalising goal, their heads just went down. They just, that beginning, that 20 minutes where City were in control, were in such commanding possession, and it was just looking like, oh my God, this could be 3-4-0 if they keep on playing like this. And then all of a sudden, things happen, players get injured, and all of a sudden we just look ineffective. And for me, that's because we haven't got the players. If we lose the likes of Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, and we've got Foden who's out, from being out cold because of whatever he's had recently, where's creativity coming from?
Yeah, but that's a huge thing, that Ozza, to say you've no KDB, no Foden, no Rodri. That's like, not many teams have backups to cover them backups.
No, I agree, Martin. I know. I'm making a
Real
very
Madrid don't even have that sort of backup.
Wait a minute.
What I'm saying is, though, it's not about the players. It's
about
having the plan that goes along with that. To know.
No, I'll tell you what. I know what the plan is
going to happen.
This is why I keep saying, when everyone's going on about basketball, football, if you want basketball, football, you are going to make errors defensively. You're going to do. If you want the entertaining 3-3s, 4-4s, 2, this is it. You can't have both. You can't have two bango wingers and then because like exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm fine with whatever. This is my issue. Said this with Pat privately, and you was. I'm fine with whatever Pep wants to do. For me, Pep's earned my backing on whatever. If Pep wants to go 9 up top, let him go 9 up top. I don't care, but I will know the consequences to that. My issue was, where was Foden today? Now, I don't know. I'm hearing he's had personal issues. He must have had, because he's not had the shits for 6 weeks. I know he hasn't. So there must be something else. He's either getting it back slowly, but for me, I thought 45 minutes against Inter, I thought he'd at least brought him on. I was surprised Pep didn't make changes at half time. Where I will say, and I am going to come to you super chats in 2 seconds, I promise you. Thank you so much. What I will say is, yeah, I get why people are saying it's a foul. This is the inconsistency of referees and the PGMOL, which causes these debates. I don't think it was a bit of a foul. VAR looked at it and it was bang in front of me. I thought Kyle Walker switched off at the back post again and we got done. Edison did flap a little bit for me. One thing I will give David Raya, I think David Raya commands his area like a man mountain. I will big up Raya on that. There was every ball we were putting in, corner-wise, Raya was just coming up and collecting. Apart from the very last one at the end, he was collecting like a man mountain. And trust me, David Raya is not tall. I was shocked. I was expecting him to be 6 foot, and then I saw him today. I was like, "You're not even that tall. How are you getting these balls?"
He's very good at it.
He's excellent at it. You just got to. That's all I think. This is my thing. There are areas Edison can improve.
I don't. As I said only a couple of weeks ago,
this is a set piece problem. We've conceded more
Then set piece coach. Then
we've conceded more set pieces this season than any other team in the Premier League. We've conceded 4 set goals from set pieces.
Now, is that why Pep was pissed off at somebody at the bench? Because he looked at, when he picked the chair, you saw he was looking at somebody at the bench. Was it the set piece coach?
I don't know, but
I think so, because he looked at somebody.
That's down to zonal marking. If you look at the goal from Gabriel, you're absolutely right in what you're saying, by the way, Ozzy. I'm just saying that if you were to look at the rule book, that goal shouldn't be allowed. But it still doesn't take away anything from the fact that our defence should have been better. The fact that there was one man at the back post, and that was Gvardiol. Now, Gvardiol can't mark 3 people. You had 4 or 5 defenders at the front post. Now, why? You had for the first time they had a corner, we had Doku marking him. We had Doku marking Gabriel outside the box. Doku. Why? What you need to be doing is you need to be putting a massive unit like Erling Haaland or Gvardiol or a big player. You need to be putting them onto Gabriel when because you know what's going to happen. He's going to come zooming into the box as soon as that ball's been kicked, and he's going to try and get his head on it. And it's always going to go to the back post. Why on earth did we have 4 or 5 defenders standing at the front post and we had Gvardiol on his own at the back?
Exactly, brother.
To me, this is a tactical problem with our set pieces. We are absolutely diabolical at defending set pieces, and the stats prove it. Now, that's going to be our weakest link this season, I feel. And if we're going to start getting anything from games, we need to start resolving that fast.
I do need to do the super chats because people have been. Fee, I'm so sorry it's so late. Savio was incredibly creative. Doku less so. Jack great. Diaz too. Felt comfortable with Kovacic. John gave stability. PS Arsenal dirty bastards. That's some fee. Thank you very much for your generous £5. And then Amar, the atmosphere was great. Atmosphere was bang on form today. City fans did the job today. My voice is gone. Have you parked the bus? Ref was at a shite. Why do we always do fight till the end? Exactly. This is my thing. And thank you so much for your super chat, Amar and Fee. Really, really appreciate it. The one thing I will say is people have said, no, I don't mean transition, about from us, Ed. Don't mean the goals, about from us, from an attacking standpoint. There's no point in going out and out wingers and then we don't use them. We've got to try and get the balance. And my issue was KDB wasn't there. Foden didn't come on till the 70-odd minute. Where was the creativity today? The creativity was down the wings, and we only used one. That was my issue. We sort of, as soon as Rodri went off, I thought we played into Arsenal hands a little bit. That's why they got. You notice, as soon as Rodri went off, they all went whoof. They sort of lifted themselves. I thought Pep was a little bit naive today. I don't know what he was doing. Listen, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think some of it was on Pep today. I've told you I will be straight. I'm not. People think I'm Mr. Manchester City, and I sit there with a City poster going, "Hey," I won't say Dicky Bird against any of them. I will give constructive criticism to anybody.
I will agree with you, but what I will say, I think that there was a bit of tactical genius from Pep today in one area of the pitch, and I'll tell you why. You didn't really notice much of Gundogan in the game. You didn't notice much of Gundogan in the game because he was acting as a second runner. If you look at that first goal, Gundogan was acting as that second runner to pull Saliba and Gabriel towards him to create the space for Haaland. Now, if you look at the second half, you look at Gundogan, 90% of that time he was in the box. He was in the box for most of that second half. Now, he was being put in that box to basically pull more defenders onto him to create space for Haaland. That's the one bit of tactical genius that I saw.
I think once, although that was my issue.
Yeah.
Gundogan went out. I don't think Gundogan was as influenced in that game as he could have been.
No, I don't think he was.
He was sacrificed as that player to draw defenders onto him.
He had no midfield, though. That was what bothered me a little bit today. When Rodri disappeared, our midfield disappeared.
Because what I'm saying to you, if you look at this game last season, right, and we didn't have Gundogan, there is nobody on that pitch that is performing as that second runner, which is why Haaland didn't score against Arsenal home or away last season, because it was two defenders marking one man. This time round, you had Gundogan acting as that second runner, which pulled defenders onto him to create that space for Haaland.
The problem is that other players didn't take advantage of that. It was took advantage of once, but then the rest of the play, especially that second half, you just didn't see that creativity. You didn't see where the goal was going to come from, and that was the problem. Gundo can be doing all that he can, but if nobody else around him is going to put the effort in, then it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem. You can say Pep was a tactical genius in that respect, but he wasn't a technical genius where it just kept on happening. Nothing was coming. For me, that's where you've got to make a change. You've got to do something to the game, because we knew Arsenal were just going to put 9 men behind the ball and just hope and pray. They were really good in their no one could take that away from them, that they defended really well up until they conceded.
Do you know what pissed me off though? Second half, I'm going to say it is. It was the same. Listen, I'm one of these. If after 20 minutes it ain't working, it ain't working. When I'm seeing the ball recycled from the right hand side into the middle, back again, in again, shoot 30 yards out, and of all the people, I'm watching Kyle Walker and Ruben Diaz trying to score 30-yard smashes. What are we doing? Trying something different. Don't try it for 45 frigging minutes. I know I'm going to bring Dan in a minute. I'm waiting to bring Dan in because Dan Potts is coming in. He's not going to come in and be a dick. Trust me now. And we'll talk about it. What I'm bothered about is don't do the same damn thing for 45 minutes. Change it. Try something different. It didn't work. I know we eventually got there, but it was off a corner. If you're going to use Doku, let him go round the back. Try something different. Why leave it so damn late? and maybe I'm frustrated with it. I don't know.
No, you're right though. You're right though. It's the same thing against Inter. It was only at the end when he changed, he brought in Foden and Gundogan, we started getting those chances down the middle. But the fact that Pep sometimes just leaves it, and then the players just keep passing it left, right. That's why I say, did anyone not get annoyed that why are we doing the same thing? It was actually three players, to be honest. It was Walker, Diaz, Bernardo, and to each other. Walker, Diaz, Bernardo to each other, and then one of them would try cross it, it would get blocked, it would go back, recycle the same way. There was a point, Martin, where I shouted at the screen, I was like, can somebody just throw in James McAtee and remove one of these defenders? I was actually saying, sub one of the defenders, bring in James McAtee and tell McAtee to just, you're free today. You're free, James. It's your moment. You're free. Jump in, because the creativity is bad. Ozzy is not lying. If you think about this team, it was because Foden decided to step up last season. But let's not forget that when people parked the bus against us last season, we were also struggling. But look, I'm not going to get angry at the game overall, because Arsenal have been showing to us, even before they came to City, they already were like, we're preparing for City, because you can see against Spurs, they're locked up, they were sitting back, counter attack. When you saw the last game, lock up, counter attack. It's just that I think if teams also, just because teams are not as good as Arsenal, maybe because they'll lose concentration, but if certain teams that are half decent do this to us in the Champions League, I have a feeling this season we meet a team like Inter again, or we meet Madrid or whatever in a Champions League game. I think they keep watching these games and say they're going to do this. If KTB is not there to create, if Foden is not there to do a moment, what are we going to do? Do we pass it left, right, and that's it? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know. Maybe you guys were just being too, we're putting the standards too high. As somebody told me privately, it's like, we have to relax. It's just 5 games in. We are getting too stressed out. We should just let this game go by. Not everybody will be as good as Arsenal, but I have a feeling somebody will also do this to us later.
It is only 5 games. No, you are right on that. It's not like we're not in April and we're all like, it's only still May. I get that. Dan, good evening. I brought you on. I wanted to bring a sensible Arsenal fan in because of some of the shit I've seen from both sets of fans tonight. It's like World War III's kicked off.
Yeah.
I've seen some of your boys celebrating Rodri's injury. I've seen everyone, both sets of fans hate Oliver.
Yeah.
Your fans think we paid him. We're sat there thinking you paid him. So no sets of fans are happy with Oliver. Because our issue with Oliver, Dan, was the free kick. There was no need to bring Walker 60 yards over for a chat and then let you take the free kick when he's out of position. It's like, what are you doing? Let him get back in. But hey, Dan, give us your viewpoints from Arsenal, because I don't know. Are you happy? Are you gutted?
I don't know, bro. I'm all the emotions.
Is your head screwed?
Yeah, I'm all the emotions, man. I've been angry, sad, happy, elated, deflated, disappointed, shattered, exhausted, drained, and more. What a game, man. What a game. It was mad. First of all, on Oliver, I'll give you it. I don't know what this guy's on, man. I think this guy is absolutely nuts. He's given us no favors over the last few years, and today it was just absolute head loss from him, in my opinion. I don't know what's going on with certain parts of the game, certain fouls that weren't fouls, certain fouls that were fouls, certain yellow cards that weren't given, certain yellow cards that were given. Just no consistency, is there, in this sport?
It's like main character syndrome.
Oh, bruv, what was mad was Trossard is the only one I won't give any praise to today, if I'm honest. Out of all of our players, I think you'll know that how hard is that to do, by the way, against you boys. What they've done is phenomenal in terms of defensively. But I look at Trossard today and I just think you, out of everybody, should know, 1, you're experienced. 2, it's happened to your mate Declan only a couple of weeks ago. And you've smashed it. So, you know, Paul Merson summed it up right. Trossard's a really technically good player. All he's got, if he wants to, he can either control that ball, he can pass it to Martinelli, or he can put it out for a corner if he really wants to whistle to go for half time. And he's decided, he knows what he's doing, man. He knows what he's doing. And it might have been that split second.
he fouled him and then kicked the ball away. So
All
he did
away.
two when he was, and it was
But
like
he heard the whistle. He heard the whistle as well. Like people say, he didn't hear the whistle, but he did hear the whistle. Like let's just be
course he
real.
did.
He did. He smashed.
That's why he didn't put his foot through it as much as he would have.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's that incident. What did I think of the game? If I'm honest with you, man, I feared the worst, bruv. The first 10, 15, I thought, shit, they've come out. Haaland's done what everyone said he wasn't going to do, which was score against Gabriel and Saliba. I thought that Savio had Calafiori on toast. I actually thought Calafiori played well, but the first 10, 15, he was absolutely having fun with him, mate. And then he split through our defence. Brilliant from Haaland. And people underrate that finish, by the way, because he is a split second from being offside. Like the movement is exquisite, mate. Absolutely phenomenal from him. And you go 1-0 up, and I really feared the worst. Look, I understand your frustrations with Michael Oliver. As soon as I saw Kyle Walker, I thought, Christ, Pep's giving us a chance here. Thank God for that, because he's done, mate. He looks absolutely finished and washed. What he was doing to Mark Gabriel for that corner is a disgrace, by the way. That is absolute shambles bit of defending. And I say, as much as Michael Oliver doesn't need to call him over, at Sunday League level, you're told, get ready for it. And he could have sprinted back in position, but he trotted back. He walked back. He weren't interested in getting back. So I say, yeah, fair play. Oliver was a twat, but don't expect any favours from that guy and just get yourself back in position as quickly as you can. And he didn't, right? When actually Martinelli gets the ball, he is back, to be fair to him. He might not be in the position he wants to be. But then you can't take anything away from the strike. The Calafiori strike is just phenomenal. Absolutely outstanding. I mean, it just, whoa, I couldn't believe it. And then I'm like, wow, we're back in this game. And then I see Doku trying to mark Gabriel, and it was a shambles. Gabriel, in my opinion, should have done better with a header from the corner. And then he puts the second one in from it being swapped with Kyle Walker. And then I think, if I'm honest, the red card completely changed the game. And let me ask you guys a genuine question here, right? I want you to be truthful with me here. Would you rather this have happened, that it played out the way it was, or would you rather have Trossard stayed on and it's 11v11 and we don't play the way that we did defensively? I really don't think we would have done that if we were, because we weren't playing defensively. We couldn't. You were 1-0 up, so we couldn't sit there and park the bus. The only reason we did that is because we went down to 10, and it's like, well, what we're going to do? Try and win 3-1. We're going to have to now make sure it's 2-1 or 2-2. So I don't know what you guys think. So
yeah, I think it would have worked in our advantage if it had been 11v11. I think as soon as Trossard got sent off, it was basically like Inter Milan all over again. It just went back to just full on part of the bus. But I think it would have created probably a better game. 11v11. I do think that if he'd have stayed on, I think that there would have been a lot more goals for both sides, because it started to turn out to be a bit more of an open game. Especially after the Calafiori goal, it was more kind of end to end. I think you had a couple of chances, we had a couple of chances. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen 11v11, because the other thing is I would never ever use that as an excuse. Oh, we managed to get the draw because you were down to 10 men and stuff like that. I'd never use that as an excuse. I do think there was a lot of decisions from the referee today which played massive part in the game. Like I explained before, the decision where I think it was David Raya. I think, was it Urian Timber that had gone down with cramp or something? Yeah. And David Raya went to go and kick the ball out of play, and he didn't kick it out of play. And we started to play up from there, and then he blew the whistle, and it was just it was like I said before, it was like main character syndrome. It was like he wanted to be the main man.
But they all do, don't they, bruv? All of these referees do. Like, there's not one that I look at and think, oh, I'm glad he's refereeing today. They're all a shambles, mate. They're all absolutely shocking. They're all inconsistent, and it's terrible. Look, I don't actually mind the whole Haaland and Gabriel thing at the end. I quite like a little bit of that. I grew up in the Wenger and Fergie era, right? I quite liked that. I don't actually mind that Haaland smashed the ball against Gabriel's head. I don't actually mind that. I don't think it's particularly great, but, Ben White does it every weekend, right? So I can't be a hypocrite. So, look, that happens. That doesn't bother me. I think the most frustrating thing for me is actually that we conceded right at the end with like 10 seconds to go. What I was really surprised about, though, I've got to say this, guys, was I was thinking, just don't let Foden shoot because he's the one who can let it go. And luckily for us, you were letting Diaz, Akanji,
Yeah.
everybody else shoot apart from Foden and Grealish and Doku. I was like, what is happening here? Why aren't they letting one of these guys have a dig? Because Diaz, I mean, we could have been there all night. He was trying to hit Rosette. You had Akanji doing the same thing. Kovacic was another one. It just kept rolling. I was thinking, so you're getting all of your centre halves and defensive midfielders to shoot and all your strikers and attackers to stand wide. I just didn't get it.
I actually thought that when Grealish Grealish and Stones were coming on, I actually thought Diaz was going to go off. I thought that Stones was going to be a direct swap for Diaz because, for me, I think Diaz is far too slow in the build-up. He has too many touches. He takes far too much time on the ball. And when you need to get the ball forward and you know, to play on that sort of counter-attack sort of style, you know, by the time he gets the ball and he looks around and he takes a few touches, all of your players are back into their positions in your setup. And it's like, well, what do you do now? And that was the same problem as what we had against Inter Milan, is that as soon as we got the ball, we were taking far too many touches, too much time on the ball. And then by the time we got the ball to your final third or their final third, everyone was back in position. And it's like, well, what do you do now? We need to be faster. It needs to be more one-touch, two-touch football to get that ball up the pitch. And when Stones was coming on, I was thinking, oh, great, you know, Stones can let off a shot. You know, he's proved it against like Dortmund and other teams like that where he scored from sort of out of the box. And I feel like bringing off Diaz and replacing him with Stones over bringing off Walker would have probably been a more sensible option. Not to say that I don't think that Walker should have got taken off. I just feel like, I think man for man, I think that Diaz and Stones would have been a better swap.
Yeah, but can I say something on the 11? Am I the only one who's sitting here? I know we are City fans and we have hope in our team. I think 11v11 Arsenal beat us. I'm telling you, this might shock a lot of City fans. If you think about this, right? The only reason why Arsenal went deeper with the blocking, Arsenal could have done another block with 11 players and gone with a 2-1. Trust me, I have watched them recently. It's not Arteta, like even Guy Neville said, wherever Jose Mourinho is, he's smiling at the TV saying, I'm so proud of you, Arteta. He even said that on TV. And I was like, everybody's proud. Because I think if it's 11v11, they will hit us on a more dangerous counter. And they're not going to just have everybody, because I've watched them recently. They will have Trossard or one of these fast players with Jesus and them ready to counter us as soon as they get the ball. Right now, they didn't want to go attack at all. And you've seen City, even against Inter. When a team just sucks the pressure, gets the ball, sends the ball in front, if Inter were more clinical against City, we were going to lose that Inter game. Remember, it was also like that. So I'm just saying, as much as Man City fans, obviously, when I go to other channels, I give it the just to rattle Arsenal fans because I want to just give it back to them. But if you're being serious, if I look at that game, if it was 11v11, and the fact that sometimes City struggle and Arsenal are that good with defensive lockup, I think we were going to lose that game. 11v11, they were going to counter us and get a third one. Or one of the corners, if they attacked, we were going to concede again. I'm just saying we could have lost. Let's just admit, as City fans, as soon as Rodri left, I don't think there was much in that game for us. I think we were going to struggle. I don't think we were going to get these chances. People are saying, oh, if it was 11v11, maybe Arsenal could have given us a chance for Haaland to have a gap again. No, trust me, when Arsenal go in front, watch them recently. Arteta, fair play to you and your coaching staff. They have managed these days to lock up teams. They will lock you up. You will go nowhere. That's just my opinion. I think we could have lost 11v11 after the 2-1.
I think as well.
People don't agree. I get it. The one thing I will say, people are on about the time, because I mean, Terry's even said, where's the 7 minutes come from? 7 minutes. You might not like this, Danny. Your players were going down, which is why one of your subs, you might be able to tell me who the sub was, got booked for literally ran round the whole edge.
Oh, Lewis Kelly,
and told Raya to go down when he was absolutely fine. He's like, just go down. And the ref, and then he went and tried and hid behind all the City players.
You know a funny stat about that, mate. Lewis Skelly's got a yellow card before he's made his Premier League debut. That's actually
I know, but
fact.
I know, but that's where the time stuff came from.
Of course he was. No, listen.
There should have been more
David
time.
Raya
added.
today
go down.
found his
We can
inner
go-
Jordan Pickford.
We were always gonna do that, man. When we have 10 men, we were
Yeah.
always gonna do that, whether it was Palace or Fulham or Arsenal. But so we can't complain about where the 7 minutes come from. But look, I don't understand. Look, some of them were probably genuinely cramping up and had to get subbed. I think a couple of them had to get subbed in the end because the amount of games we played away from home with a bloody small squad, which I've been saying is not strong enough still for months. But you know that mine. The other of it is just genuine time wasting, and Michael Oliver was doing nothing about that, obviously. So we were continuing to get away with it. But what I will say is, I mean, the Rodri thing. I've seen some of the Arsenal fan base going, "Oh, I hope he's out for." I never want people to be out for a long time. That's just scummy.
Yeah, I know. I've spoken to you privately, and I thought some of them are being. It's getting silly now. Some of this.
At the end of the day, you want to have the best 11 for both sides on the pitch.
Exactly that, bro.
At the end of the day, then you can turn around and say the best team won on the day.
Mate, I wanted Odegaard fit. I wanted KDB fit. I wanted Rodri to stay. This is what I want. I want both. We have not actually had an Arsenal Man City game yet where we've had everyone fit. Because last season it was, Saka was out. You had KDB out. Season before that we had Saliba out. We had bloody Rob Holding going for a title at one stage. Do you know what I mean? It's like ridiculous. I just want to see both of these bloody teams get their best 11s out. And let's just see what it's about, because I think it'll be a cracking game. But the referee will probably still try and ruin it if that happens. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. But look, I don't understand. I mean, I don't actually know what Rodri was doing in the first 30 seconds of the game, by the way. I don't know what the hell that was all about.
Apparently, Kai Havertz caught him round the neck, is what we got told at the ground.
Yeah, but if you watch it, it doesn't happen.
I haven't, so I need to watch it back. I'm not seeing any of it.
I was quite surprised at him. I was thinking, crikey, you're a big lad. I know what happened when he got injured, and that looks horrendous, by the way. But the first few seconds of the game, he's rolling round. I'm thinking, oh my God, I was thinking, how's Kai Havertz bloody elbowed him here? He's going to send him off if he has. And I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, please get up, Rodri. What are you doing, man? But yeah, look, it is what it is. I can't stay much longer, Martin, because I've got to shoot myself, bro. But I appreciate
No, mate, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. I know I'm in the Dragon's Den tomorrow, trust me, and I know I'm going to get it.
Big up, man. I love for having me, and boys, big up as well, man. Big up the chat.
Take care, mate. 12 Mass Podcast.
See you next time. Take care, guys.
Get over there. Take care, mate. Then you'll be coming in the lines then yourself. Right, let's get on to the main thing. We got the equaliser in the end. And I've seen a bit of this. Well, because Rodri made them comments, about the over-celebrating. I mean, City fans are very shameless now. It's a little bit different because we are still, this is what people need to realise. Manchester City are still top of the league by 2 points. I don't know if anyone's actually even looked at the league table tonight, but the league table is Arsenal 4th.
Yeah.
This is why we're celebrating. It's not about, this is not April, May. City, trust me now, will not be celebrating a draw April time.
No.
We will celebrate it now. That's what I mean. It's a bit of a different mentality. We're not saying, listen, people can celebrate how they want. We weren't doing photographs with the photographers on the pitch afterwards.
No. I was going to say, I don't really think.
We'll be 2 points clear of Arsenal, is my point, Lee.
I actually don't think there was that much of celebrations, if I'm honest. Obviously, Stones did the old, thing, and we all just ran back. I wouldn't.
And Haaland took the ball and threw it behind him.
But I don't think there was much in the way of celebrations. It's not like we went.
It wasn't the ground
corner flag. Oh well, yeah, of course.
Was it frustration? You mean maybe frustration from the players?
I just feel like if you were to look at the game, I don't think there was much in the way of celebrations. Obviously, we celebrated the fact that we'd scored a goal, but I don't think that we'd celebrated any more than what we would have done if we'd have scored. If it had been 2-3-0.
Didn't like the Haaland stuff. I know people are finding it funny. I get it, but I'm always one of them. Don't put yourself in that position. Don't give the way that referee was being, don't give him a silly choice to make. That's all I mean. Because some referees would have done Haaland there.
Yeah.
Some would have done it. Because he does chuck the ball at his head and say, see you later, have that. So
hey, that made it 3-2. That own goal, Gabriel.
I know, and I get it, and I know it's funny, and I know but it's arsehole behaviour, and you're giving when the referee's being an arsehole, you're making the referee become an arsehole. So this is my issue with it, and no, and you're saying lighten up. I know it's funny, it's funny, but if Haaland had got sent off in there, you wouldn't have gone, well done. That's as bad as someone saying Rodri's injured. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we'd all be kind of saying
the
same thing as Trossard, really. Made a really stupid mistake and he got sent off for it.
Yeah,
Haaland
that's what I'm
could have been
saying.
looking at the same thing.
Don't give the referee the choice. That's all I'm saying. Personally, it was piss hilarious. But you're giving the referee the choice.
So you did laugh. You did laugh, Martin.
Yeah, I laughed. Of course I laughed.
Trossard.
I laughed like anyone. I was calling them all fatty bastards a lot. You were loving it.
Yellows, wasn't it? It was the fact that he shoved Bernardo Silva in the back, which was a yellow, and then straight after booted the ball away, which is another yellow. So it's not like they can appeal it.
3 yellows then, really.
Well, yeah, technically, yeah. If you want to look at it like that, yeah. Because
I don't know how Thomas Partey stayed on that pitch today, but that's a different thing.
So
Thomas Partey should have gone for me.
It's not like he was given a straight red, so it's not like they can appeal it. And anyway, it was the fact that he already had a yellow. Then shoving Bernardo in the back is definitely a yellow.
Well, he fouled him and then kicked the ball away.
That's
so he gave the referee.
Really,
which one do you want the yellow for? Do you want it for the foul or do you want it for kicking the ball away? I can give you one for
exactly. Exactly. So it's like it.
See, look, Amar loved it. Should have clotheslined him. I know. You're not getting my point. I know it's funny, but it wouldn't have been if he'd got sent off and you're out without him.
The thing is, though, you could then probably argue the same with Haaland. Throwing the ball into the back of Saliba's head's a yellow, and then 30 seconds later goes and bodies Thomas Partey. That's another second yellow. You know
what I mean? I know it's funny, but that's all I'm saying. But what I find it really weird is there are Arsenal fans, big Arsenal fans on big accounts who are celebrating Rodri's injury tonight. Go and give your head a wobble. Seriously, give your head a wobble. If you're wishing injury, if this is where the state of football's come, sorry, you need to go and give your heads massive wobbles. Seriously.
Well, let's be fair, Martin. I think the reason they probably want him to have a serious injury is because they realise how much of a threat he is against them in this league. Do you know what I mean? Because Rodri's on the course to possibly win the Ballon d'Or as the best player on the planet right now, which I think we can all probably agree he is. For me, I know you said this is early on in the season, Martin, but when we talked about this on Thursday night, I did say that I think, for me, this was a game that Arsenal needed to win. Because even though it's early on, I think the emphasis for them to get one over us, for 2 years we've not lost at the Etihad, for them to have that over us, I think just the mentality of that would have driven them on. We'll never know, as in like, it might have, it might not. It's still a long league and things can happen. But I didn't want to see that. So for me, today's draw is again saying that Arsenal just haven't done it.
The invincible season's still on, boys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do these and then we'll end in a moment. Sofa has renewed a membership for a 15th month. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Nathan has renewed for a 7th month. Thank you so much. Luke, Not in My Lifetime podcast. Go and give them a lot of love and hit that subscribe button for them. Thank you for renewing for the 3rd month. Amar's come in with another super chat. Really appreciate it, mate. Rodri stays on, we win. That's why Arsenal targeted him. Simon Clark has also renewed for an 8th month. And so has Juliet for a 15th month. You lot are on fire and you have made Pep Guardiola, when it works, so happy.
More than you believe. More than you believe I'm happy.
and you've made Aussie very happy. And don't forget, City Bevo TV, get over there, show him a lot of love. And True City fan Patrick, go and show him a lot of love as well. In accordance with Pitch Points, go and show them both a lot of love. And Vader Games TV, who will be back on the channel very shortly. Also, with their friend in the Mancunian way, with the Harpers leaving a bit extra on. Yeah, I do think they were, but it's a big game. I think you'll get that in the Liverpool games. Listen, I don't mind a little bit extra on some because I've come to realise we have a target on our back now. We're Manchester City. We are the United of the 90s. We are the team everyone wants to hate, wants to come. And like someone said 2 seconds ago, Arsenal were seconds away from ending a 2-year unbeaten run. And they had it snatched from their grasp. And that's why they're hurting. That's why they're upset. And that's why they're saying cheats and 115 and 130. And they're just throwing random numbers around, 115, 130. And apparently every City fan's a fake fan, even though some guy made me laugh. You know, and I'm going to say this, I don't care. Pat was on the terrace earlier on and everyone was calling him a fake fan. It was some guy who lives in bloody Congo or Belgium or bloody Poland who's never been to the Emirates.
That's what makes me laugh, you know. And it's quite funny that at least if you see, let's say, somebody with, you understand, you can see that, oh, this one is maybe they're from England or whatever, or maybe they're from Manchester, and maybe they're saying that. No, it's actually like somebody from Africa. My fellow African is like, and I see there, like, I know, with the Zambian flag, you're my neighbor, I'm a Malawian, you're Zambian, we're neighbors.
Yeah. And apparently Pat's fake because he's a City fan, but he's been a season ticket holder from Arsenal for all of 0 minutes. But they're all fake. You know, just listen, I get it. It is madness. Utter madness. But because you're a City fan, you're a fake bastard.
The fact that Pat lives out in Australia and still attends at least 10 games a season.
Oh no, they're talking about me. I'm in Ireland.
No, it's talking about True City.
The Irish one. Yeah, I'm the one in Ireland. Yeah. So I'm saying somebody who's like a fair, like, you know, it just makes me laugh because that's what makes me laugh is like, come on, man, you are in Uganda. We are all Africans. You're from Africa, and you're telling me, but it makes me laugh. So what happened is, you know what I decided to do today? I'm always very nice on the channel. I decided to rattle them. So I said, it's Arsenal. But somebody asked this question to me, so I just asked it to them. I was like, some guy who's a Chelsea fan asked the question that is Arsenal actually a big club? Because you keep comparing yourselves to Madrid, Bayern, but what have you done? You've never gone consistent like Madrid. Like, no offense, I respect Arsenal fans, but this Chelsea fan lost it and said the same. So I also said on the football trend, it's like, somebody give me an answer. Is Arsenal actually a big club? Because they've never been the one that you sit in history and say Arsenal are dominating. When Wenger was here, he was sort of the side guy to Fergie. Right now, Arsenal are struggling against Pep Guardiola's team. And every time if a player wants to win a Champions League, what do? They left Arsenal. They went to Barcelona, Thierry Henry. They went to United or they went somewhere else. So I just decided to go that way because even the Arsenal fans on the terrace today went to City fans. They went after us. They called us cheats. They said this and that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give it back. So luckily, as soon as I gave that, I decided to leave so nobody could respond to me.
Let's be fair, right? The stick that was beaten over our back for so many years was you're not a big club because you've never won the Champions League.
Champions League, yeah.
I'm sorry, Arsenal. How many Champions Leagues have you won? No. Enough said.
Yeah, so that's
0.
I mean, can I make a point? Can I make a point? The other thing I've heard this week, I've heard afterwards, City fans are scared. We're rattled. Do we look scared? We're top of the league.
The thing is, right, Martin, right?
We've drawn a game.
The true facts of it are, right? Even if we were bottom of the league, we wouldn't be scared.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just give you some facts from the game because apparently this is what Arsenal fans were giving. City had 33 chances, 11 on target. Arsenal had 5-3 on target. Do you know how many touches Arsenal had in the second half?
How many?
Touches.
Wait. They had 2 touches.
Was it 2 or 2% possession? 2 or 2% possession? One of the two.
2% possession.
Yeah.
They had 0 on goal.
And I know passes in the opposition half up until like the 65th, 70th minute was something like 109 passes to like 2 or something.
Yeah. Apparently, Tyrese, I don't know. I'm waiting to get update. I've been told he's not on crutches, so I'll find out. I am waiting to get an update on it. I'll know more tomorrow. I did say earlier
What about KDB? What's KDB's situation? I haven't been reading anything.
he trained yesterday, and then the second half of training, he went on his own. He was training alone yesterday, is what I got told.
They say
so
they're going
I
to
don't
assess
know.
him.
He won't be a part this week. We'll have to say we'll know about Rodri tomorrow. Let's see if we can get the scan done. It's not. You're never going to tell 4 hours after the game because it depends if there's inflammation. It will depend if there's bleeding, there's bruising, because they can't scan if it's all inflamed. If his knee's gone boom or his leg's gone boom, they can't scan. There's too much blood and bruising around it. They'll need to let it settle down.
The other thing, Martin, as well, do you remember on the spaces before the start of the season when we were in pre-season, and I said to you, if we pick up an injury with KDB or Foden or Haaland, at the time, and I'd probably still say it now, it wouldn't be as much of a problem. If Rodri tears his ACL, then that is a massive problem, because then you've then got to fix something for at least the next 6 months, 5 months, however long is left until the window. You've got to fix that problem. Whereas if we're missing KDB, it's fine. We've got Foden. If we're missing Haaland, it's fine because we can fit Foden into that position, or we can play someone else as a false 9. If we miss Rodri, that is very damaging for us.
I agree, Bo, because I think what Pep will do, Pep will put Kovacic and Gundo and play them as that double pivot. Now, it's worked in the past, as in like when we've had the double pivot, but right now, I don't think Gundo, as Martin said earlier on, I don't think he should be starting games. And I think, as good
I'm
as...
fine with Kovacic.
Kovacic has had a good start, but I just think the pair of them for a full season, having to rely on, I'd have a lot of concerns about.
We've got some very final super chats, and then LB's coming. Thank you so much, mate. Martin, any news on Rodri? It's not looking good. As just said, we're still waiting. We'll know more tomorrow. I got told it was a reoccurrence of the Euro injury, but I don't know. We'll see. Could be an ACL. I did say earlier on, I don't know fully. Ahmad, thank you. Been to the Emirates more than 90% of Arsenal fans. And then LB's coming again with another super chat. Thank you, mate. Put 2 goals against the best defense in the league. Yeah, I got told they hadn't conceded all season. Well, you conceded now. And they've still gone crying because apparently they were coming to whip us 3-0. You were coming to whip us 3-0. Yeah,
From
well.
what, Martin, they scored 2 goals, both from defenders. I saw nothing from their attacking.
They had no attack.
I'm saying, Havertz did nothing. Trossard did nothing.
I was just going to say there's a stat in the chat, and if that's true, that's mad. Havertz completed 0 passes. Now, can someone fact check that to see if that's true? Because if it is, you are so right, Ozzy.
Yeah, he didn't.
Well,
he had 1 shot on target. That was it.
We are going to end there.
0 passes.
I will be back in a bit. There will be a space at 11:15. So if you're not on Twitter, don't worry. At Horses City will come on. It will be a City-only stream on there. But I want to say a massive, massive thank you to Pat. Get over to True City Fan. Show him a lot of love. Let's get him to 3K. Show a lot of love to Pat, top guy. City Bebo TV. Show a lot of love to him. Go over there and hit that subscribe. Not in My Lifetime podcast has been in. Everyone, get over there. Show them a lot of love. Everyone who's been in for the super chats, you are amazing tonight. Everyone from Adam, Mark, Pardo, Sophie Rose, Nathan, Luke, Simon, Julia, all renewing their memberships, to AK, Fee, Amar twice, LB twice, Amar 3 times actually. I've just looked. For your amazing super chats and your generosity. It means so much. Please smash that like. Hit that subscribe button as we try and march to 5K. I will be on. What am I on tomorrow? I'm on a number of shows. Monday's a busy day. Trying to think.
Hang on,
Never
Dan.
a Foul, 11:30. And then I'm on Lee Judge's channel, which will be interesting with Dan Potts and Lee Judges. After his fan cam tonight, I've already messaged him. That will be on from 12:30ish, 1:15. And then I think Daps will do his 5 p.m. City in it. There won't be a Main Road Days tomorrow. Reason, we are going to be back with post-match on Tuesday from Watford. So I just want to spend a little bit of time with family tomorrow night, because I know Tuesday night we're back with a post-match from Watford, where hopefully we'll see McAtee, Ortega, Nunes, all the boys. We'll see EDS squad, backup squad, whatever you want to call it. Jack Grealish will get a game to suit Pat because he'll be happy there. That's Jack Grealish's level. Okay. But yeah, no, we'll have a lot of fun, and I'll see you all tomorrow in those shows. If not, we'll see you Tuesday night for the Carabao Cup post-match. Yeah, but City 2, Arsenal 2. City remain top of the league and unbeaten. Take care. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do this, and I'm going to get in trouble if we don't. Ozzy, you need to start reminding me.
You tell me off when I do.
What?
You tell me off when I remind you. I've got it in hand.
Please remind me. Don't forget, head over to footballprizes.co.uk, £2.95 for a £4,000 prize, £2,000 per ticket, and there is 2 of them to win a chance to be in the captain centre circle for the Southampton game. Be in the team, official team photograph alongside the captain on the day. Trust me, I've entered this and I've entered it quite a bit. You will be in the Tunnel Club, 5-course meal, see all the interviews with the players afterwards, everything. Literally kid caboodle, be treated like a total king for the day. It is open until Tuesday, the 1st of October, 7:30 of this year, and the live draw is on Tuesday, the 1st, on the same date at 8:30. There is also a chance to win PS5s, Xbox X Series, Nintendo Switches, headphones, all sorts of goods and gadgets are in there. Absolute amazing prize. Honestly, get over there. Show footballprizes.co.uk a lot of love. It is UK only. They are the channel's sponsor for the 24-25 season, and we thank them for allowing us to be part of their amazing family. We'll see you all for Watford. Take care.